Everybody, welcome back to a North Texas Weather Center forecast, and tonight what we're looking at is that severe weather potential across far northwestern North Texas, and also what has happened. What's the expectation for the rest of the night, because we obviously haven't seen any storms in North Texas at all yet today. So I'm going to kind of break down what's going on and will we see any showers and storms tonight, and also a look at the potential for severe weather tomorrow morning, which will be a widespread event, so we have to watch that one closely as well. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe down below as well. Let's get right into it. So here's the live radar as of right now. There is obviously several tornado watches out there. There's one that was added to areas like Abilene and down to the southwest and areas like the hill country of Texas. You can also see there's one covering a good portion of western and northwestern North Texas, and as well as Denton County and the DFW Metroplex. The rest of the Metroplex isn't included in it. And we obviously have the bigger tornado watch, which has had all the activity so far back out to the west. You can see that there is a tornado watch including part of the Panhandle of Texas, southwestern Oklahoma, and northern and northwestern portions of North Texas. So you can see this area here near Vernon and Wichita Falls all included in another tornado watch, but it's basically all the same thing. But the main threats over here will be potential for large hail to the size of 4 inches in diameter, and as well as a tornado threat. As you can already see here, there's a confirmed tornado on the ground as of about 6:07 p.m. Near Paducah, and this is down to the south of there. So you can see here's your little hook here. It's kind of hard to see since it's a bit far away from the radar, but there's your hook, and that's where the tornado would be located. But there's obviously been a confirmed tornado with this storm. Potential for baseball-sized hail exists with this storm, and it's heading toward areas like Vernon and Wichita Falls. So those areas have to be on alert tonight. That's where the moderate risk of severe weather does exist tonight. So those areas have to be on alert. Back down to the south, actually just northwest of Abilene, there's a severe thunderstorm warning, severe storm there, so potentially damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Back out to the north of that, there's a couple of other severe thunderstorm warnings in the Panhandle, and then a couple in the Oklahoma region. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Now, what is the expectation for the rest of the night? Obviously, we have not seen any severe weather at all tonight, really anywhere in North Texas. So what's going on? Well, I'm going to kind of break down for you with this little weather balloon that went up at about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. National Weather Service gathered some information and kind of took a look what's going on with the atmosphere. Well, basically what's happening, as you can see, here's your temperature right here. We're only going to pay attention to the red line. The temperature is 84 degrees at the surface. As you go up in the atmosphere, you can see right here, there's a very sharp temperature inversion. Now, what does that mean? Basically, there's a warm, stable layer of air in the atmosphere that is preventing those storms from building up. And we've seen several showers and little downpours trying to bubble up during the afternoon. We've seen at least 15 or 20. I mean, we saw plenty over in Abilene. We also saw a few in the DFW Metroplex trying to build up, but they always fail to even get past that cap. And you really can see why, because that cap is just so strong. I mean, that's at least a 5-degree difference from the surface temperature. Now, if it was about 89, 90 degrees, we would likely be seeing severe weather right now, but that's not the case. I mean, basically the surface temperature would have to be about 5 degrees warmer than it is right now for that severe weather to bubble up, and we have not obviously seen that, as I mentioned before. But you can even see, let's just go down to the bottom right here. This is the potential, if the cap wasn't there, what the severe weather potential could be. You can see there are several significant features with these storms. We could have saw hail to the size of baseballs and greater if we had no cap, but obviously we had a cap in place, luckily, because obviously this would have been a bad situation overall. But let's take a look at what's expected the rest of this evening. Now, the HRR model is still showing maybe a storm or two trying to form west of I-35 tonight. You can see by 7, 8 o'clock trying to develop. I'm not sure if this is even going to happen. We've seen pretty much the peak, I think, of when storms will develop, because the temperature is now going to start dropping from here. But back off to the west, again, supercells may develop out that way between about now and about 10 o'clock. By about 11, 12 o'clock, I can't rule out still maybe an isolated shower or storm. We will go live if there's any severe weather in North Texas tonight, as I mentioned before. By tomorrow morning, we'll start to see the potential again for severe weather existing during the mid to late morning tomorrow. So here's about 5 to 6 in the morning. You can see a line of storms moving through areas like Abilene and Wichita Falls. This will eventually head toward the Metroplex, and this will bring a main threat of damaging winds with maybe some large hail or an isolated tornado. So keep that in mind tomorrow. Again, the potential for all modes of severe weather will exist tomorrow, but it's going to be on a low-end scale. So don't be too concerned about a tornado threat. But again, anywhere in eastern Texas should be a little bit more on alert for that tornado potential. By 9 to 10 o'clock, those storms are moving through the Metroplex. By 11 to 12, we might still have some rain lingering around, especially south of DFW, closer to Waco, so just keep that in mind. By about 1 to 2 o'clock, most of this activity shifts out to our east, and then eventually we should dry out for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe storm chances returning Monday. Again, maybe some severe weather then. Here's a look at your severe weather outlook for tomorrow. As I mentioned before, there is an enhanced risk of severe weather. Again, that is pretty much eastern Texas, not really in our coverage area by much, maybe Corsicana and maybe Terrell, but that's about it. Here closer to DFW, a slight risk for Dallas and Collin County, and then a marginal risk back out to our west. That would include Bowie, Jacksboro, and Mineral Wells. But some strong storms might be possible near Wichita Falls and as well as maybe Abilene as well. Take a look at the damaging wind outlook as well. You can see damaging winds prominently going to be off to our east, but it also is possible here in the Metroplex. And here's your tornado outlook as well for tomorrow. So a very low end threat overall, anywhere east of I-35E, I would expect the main threat to be, but that's what we're looking at in terms of severe weather tomorrow. Make sure to stay up there with North Texas Weather Center again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram for the latest. We'll keep you updated if there is any severe weather. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, all dents repair in the Dashner Law Firm.